Views, nice big homes, big lots, and access to some of Moscow's best outdoor sports and recreation areas. It's all here in the Rolling Hills neighborhood in Moscow, Idaho. I'm showing you that and more today. If you're new to the channel, you couldn't be in a better place to learn about Moscow. I'm Chris Carpenter. I live in Moscow and I've been here for over a decade. Professionally, I'm a real estate agent, so learning about the Moscow area and its people is what I do all day long. When it comes to the Rolling Hills neighborhood, I've sold a lot of homes here, probably been through over 50% of them, so I'm excited to share about it with you. Let's talk some big details first. Where exactly is the Rolling Hills neighborhood? Well, we're on the east side of Moscow. Mountain View Road is the main thoroughfare running north-south on the east side of Moscow, and the Rolling Hills neighborhood is just east of that. The overall feel here is suburban. You get bigger lots, bigger houses, and some great views. True to its name, Rolling Hills, it does have a number of elevation changes. There's a lot of different hills that you can go up and down. People do tend to like the elevation changes throughout Rolling Hills. It tends to make you feel a little up and out of the hubbub of a lot of the neighborhoods in Moscow, a little bit removed. Here's a decent example of some of the views that you get throughout Rolling Hills. I'm on the corner of Atani and Rolling Hills, and you can see out behind me, you can see all the way over these houses, all the way out to Paradise Ridge. Another thing that people really like is the elementary school district that it's in. It's in the McDonald Elementary School District, and that is a highly desired elementary school in Moscow. To orient you to the neighborhood, there's really four main anchor points to point out. So where I am right now, I'm at Atani Park, and this is pretty central. This park was put in over the last few years, and it's a really great place for kids to play. Behind me, if I can show it to you, back here is Water Tower Park. We'll head up there. There's some great picnic benches, view spots, even a field and some walking trails. And then back over here off of 3rd Street, backing up to Atani Park, that's where some of the new construction is still going in. So they're still building in this neighborhood, some absolutely beautiful homes. We'll head over there on 3rd Street where they're putting in some new homes. And up behind that is Crestview Drive, and that's kind of the quintessential area in Rolling Hills with big, beautiful homes and absolutely gorgeous views off the back of a lot of these homes. So we're gonna jump in the truck now. We'll head up to Water Tower Park, and as we do, I'll tell you about some of the homes. So we're turning onto 6th Street now, and I'll tell you about some of the homes here. So what do you get in Rolling Hills compared to some other neighborhoods in Moscow? Well, Rolling Hills, it started to get built out in the early 1990s, and it's continued through today. So the vast majority of homes in the Rolling Hills neighborhood are early to mid 2000s. You can get some 90s homes, but then there's also homes being built today. Generally, these homes are larger compared to a lot of other Moscow homes. So they're anywhere from 2,000 up to 5,000 square feet. They're on larger lots, usually anywhere from 10,000 square feet up to maybe a third of an acre. And generally the finishes in these homes are really nice. You know, you get your classic late 1990s or early 2000 finishes, but most of these homes were either custom homes or spec houses and came with really nice finishes of the era. And a lot of the more recent homes that are being built in the 2020s come with large open concept living room, dining room, kitchens, obviously solid surface countertops, big master suites, walk-in closets, ensuite master baths, everything that someone's looking for in a nice new construction modern home. As you'll see, most of these homes have pretty nice landscaping, often have a sprinkler system, generally speaking a 2-car garage. There's a really good mix between ranch style single level homes, some ranch over basements, some 2-story homes, and then some 3-story homes with a main floor, basement, and upstairs. Okay, so I parked here on the corner of Cathy and Vista, and we'll walk up here across the field up on some of the trails. As you can see here, just a great grass, open field, some benches and picnic benches. So I'm gonna take you up on some of the trails here. So these are some nice gravel walking paths, and they wind all around this entire hill. They trim the trees back and the trail is really nicely maintained. Get my steps in. Down here, this is a city maintenance access road, so not accessible from the public. The best place to park is down by Vista where I did, and then it's just walkable access to the top. We've got a really nice little picnic bench spot here, and I'm gonna walk you over here to see if I can get you some views all the way out to Moscow Mountain. This is a pretty decent spot. I'll try and show you some drone shots as well, but you can see from here and from a lot of the houses down here, you have awesome views all the way out to Moscow Mountain. I decided to take another little path back to the car. This one's dirt, but still really well maintained. You can see tree trimmings of the city maintaining this park and area for people to walk. And if you can see here behind me, this is the grass field that we started at, and the trails just wind all around this hill on either side all the way back to it. All right, so now we're back to that field, heading back to the truck. I'm gonna take you to the new construction part of Rolling Hills that's still being built out today. When it comes to zoning, all of Rolling Hills is R2 zoning, meaning single family zoning. So you're not gonna find any duplexes or commercial properties in the Rolling Hills neighborhood. It's all single family, predominantly owner occupied and very family oriented. Now I'm here on the corner of Ryan and 3rd Street. If you're gonna buy a new construction home in the Rolling Hills neighborhood, it's most likely gonna be on this stretch of these two streets. Like we talked about, the new construction homes that are going in now are similar to the overall feel of the rest of Rolling Hills. They're gonna be larger homes on bigger lots. You can see this one has a 3-car garage. They're gonna have nice finishes. In the newer homes that are going in now, they'll have the classic open concept living room, dining room, kitchen, modern amenities that a lot of people are looking for these days. Down behind me, you can see farm fields with neighborhoods on either side. And this is kind of classic of Moscow as the town expands. There's some farm fields that remain for a time, but new neighborhoods go in around them, and ultimately they get converted into developments. Now we'll hop back in the truck, we'll head down 3rd Street up to Crestview Drive, which is one of the quintessential streets in the Rolling Hills neighborhood. It was one of the original streets, and on that street you'll find the classic homes that are general in this neighborhood, gorgeous views out the back. So let me show you that. In this neighborhood, there is new construction, as we just saw, in resale that takes place. There's probably anywhere from 5 to 15 homes in this entire neighborhood that sell every year. Okay, so here we are on Crestview Drive, and like I mentioned, this street is kind of a quintessential representation of the Rolling Hills neighborhood. One thing that you will notice with this being more of one of the original streets in the Rolling Hills neighborhood is that there's a lot more foliage. A lot of the trees are more established than in the new construction areas, but this is really what it's gonna be like. You've got big sidewalks on either side of the street. You've got nice cul-de-sacs like at the end of Crestview, and it's just a really safe family feel, nice suburban slow pace of life. This is an interesting observation and just something that I'm seeing here and that you will see in the Rolling Hills neighborhood. So this home, it sold a couple years back, and it was probably originally built in the early 2000s, but it looks like these guys have modernized it. New siding, new garage doors, obviously, and a lot of people are taking those older Rolling Hills homes that were built in the 90s or the early 2000s and bringing them up to modern standards and modern finishes. All right, so now we're gonna hop back in the truck. I'll talk you through some of the pros and cons of this neighborhood in particular. Let's start with what people love about Rolling Hills. The first one is walkability. You have wide streets, slow moving traffic, big sidewalks. and it's a great neighborhood for walking around. Outdoor recreation amenities. Like I mentioned, Rolling Hills is on the edge of Mountain View Road, which is really the recreation corridor in Moscow. On the north end, you have the Herc, the Hamilton Low Aquatic Center. You've got Moscow Middle School, Euler Field, and on the south end, you have the Joseph Ball Fields. And like we talked about in Rolling Hills, you have Atani Park and the Water Tower Park. Combined with limited through traffic and quiet cul-de-sacs makes this neighborhood a super family-friendly neighborhood. The highly sought-after elementary school in McDonald Elementary School, and obviously the views. Let's talk about the cons, or what people who live here have to live with. The first one would be limited access to shopping. The primary shopping corridor in Moscow is on the west side of town. So people who live in the Rolling Hills neighborhood have to drive across town to get to that shopping. Now they do have the East Side Marketplace, which has Safeway and a couple other shops just at the end of Mountain View, but it is fairly limited compared to what's on the west side of town. This one's gonna sound a little funny, but people who live in the Rolling Hills neighborhood do have a slightly longer commute to most of what Moscow has to offer. I just mentioned the shopping corridor, but downtown is on the other side of Moscow, but it's still a 6-minute drive. Geography in winter. We drove around and walked around some of the hills in the Rolling Hills neighborhood, and obviously hills and snow in the winter can be a little dicey, but the city does do a great job getting out here early and plowing the streets. And finally, in comparison to the rest of Moscow, it is a newer development, newer neighborhood. It's got younger greenery, smaller trees, and that can result in less shade, hotter walks, and less shade at the park. Judge for yourself, but if you are an active sports family, Rolling Hills might be for you. We see a ton of families in that stage of life love living here. It's also a great place for big families or multi-generational families living together with the size of homes and the lifestyle that the neighborhood supports. If you're thinking about moving to Moscow or interested in Moscow, Idaho real estate, I'll drop my information down here. You can call, text, email me, or scan the QR code. My team and I would love to get connected with you and help facilitate your move. And if you enjoyed this video, I'll link to 2 other videos on the screen that might interest you.